Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again today, people. Today we're here for Kamen Gotchard versus Kamen Legend episode 2 and the finale of this special that we had going on. And I gotta say, even though these things are very short, they're somewhat interesting. I'm not gonna say somewhat. I enjoy them a lot. I know other people really don't like to nitpick all the nitty-gritty stuff, but at the same time I do a little bit of nitpicking too, because I got maybe a few little nitpicks with this when it comes down to actual forms that we had. But this special was okay. I think this whole special was maybe a good introduction to a new writer. Well, and then basically like this whole thing was just a little anniversary thing. Even though we have drowned in a lot of anniversary type, legend writers, stuff like that. But I do like seeing the old writers, and I do like seeing the old suits and things like that. And in this episode, we see the boys, and they have basically defeated the 100. Well, at least defeated the 100 for now in this, because this episode does end with foreshadowing of we're going to see Kamen Legend again. I don't think this character is like a one and done thing, especially with the amount of time put into this suit, and especially with all the other suits that we saw. This guy isn't going anywhere. I'm pretty sure, and I know for a fact that we are going to see Kamen Legend Kaguya again someday, maybe in a big movie or something like that. But I feel like we are going to see him again, especially with the way like the leader of the 100 went out. Like I still feel like we're going to see this dude again. We're going to see this guy and everything, all this again one day. But in this episode, we see that Hototo is with Kaguya. Kaguya is basically trying to make him more gorgeous and stuff like that. And he makes him wear this funny outfit and makes him wear these glamorous rings. He gives him a lot of bling and stuff like that. And we see that the 100 start to attack again. So Hototo tries to go out there and fight off the 100, but he still had, Kaguya still has his driver, and Hototo just goes out there with no driver, just regular human hands, and he feels like, Kaguya feels like, hey, you haven't reached your gorgeous levels or whatever yet, and I'm gonna be the one to take care of them. And Hototo's like, nah man, I thought you were a hero, I thought you were like whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna go out there even if I don't got my driver or whatever. So he ends up going out there with Butler, and we see that the 100 are standing there. The main boss is there. He had the army there, and he basically tells Gotchard that, hey, we ain't got no beef with you, man. Just go on back to your world, okay? And if you don't, we'll destroy you too. And that's when Legend himself, Kaguya, shows up, and he has like this kingly like robe and stuff like that. Like he makes an entrance, he got to. He even said that heroes are usually late to the party anyway. So him and the 100's leader basically asks him, said, hey Kaguya, you could leave this world right now, you could join up with us, and we can go to all kind of worlds, and you could conquer those and stuff. And he's like, nah, like I don't go to he basically said that, nah, I'm too pretty, I'm too fly for that, cuz like for real, man, if I want to conquer worlds, man, I want those worlds to come to me. I'm not going nowhere to nobody else. That world should come to me, and I'll conquer it then. Like everything belongs to me. So he's like cool, whatever. Then we see that our 100's leader, he hinges into Kamen Rider Barlux. This writer was like the final boss to the Kamen Rider Geo movie. He basically hinges up into that writer, but that guy wasn't really all that strong anyway. But after that, we see our boys. Kaguya basically gives Gotchard back his legend driver, gives him back the Gotchard driver, and he tells him like, wait, you're giving this back to me? He's like, no, I'm not giving it back to you. I'm just choosing a different place to keep my collection. It ain't like, like Hototo's like, man, just be honest, dog. So they hitching up and they go to fight. They go to fighting these guys, and then that's, they get to fighting and things like that, blowing up stuff. We also got real quick, we also got to see Kaguya's backstory. We see that his world was like, his city was being destroyed. His grandfather, you know, was under some rubble and things like that, and his grandfather was getting ready to pass, but his grandfather does unfortunately die. And just when these robots are getting ready to, you know, take out Kid Kaguya, he is saved by Decade. And I love that. I guess, and ever since then, I guess that Decade is his favorite writer, and that's the writer that he sort of idolizes, because like Decade was like the first writer to ever be able to use and turn into, well, he's not the first, but technically he is. Him and D-End, but D-End doesn't turn into writers; he summons writers. But Decade is like the first writer to be able to summon writers and also turn them into weapons and stuff like that. Like, yeah, Decade was basically the first Kamen writer to do that. So he idolizes Decade. So makes sense why his suit looks like a form of Decade. So makes sense. So he ends up getting saved by Decade from these like the robots, and so we see that the boys, they end up hitching it up and they end up fighting off the rest of these robot dudes and whatever. And we see Legend throws him 2 cards. He throws him 4 cards, and he gives Hotaru gives him these 4 cards, and Hotaru uses them to create a new rider form fusion, and he gets O's and W. Now I'm thinking, man, look, man, this form better be freaking dope, but it wasn't. I don't like it. I don't like it. It looks terrible. You fused O's and W together. It looked terrible. I'm so sorry, guys. The gold is fine. The gold is a given. I'm okay with the gold, even though, yeah, and O's has some gold on it, but this form is trash. I'm sorry. It looked terrible. He was called Cyclone Tatoba. I break this bad. Name is fine. The gold is fine. The 2 writers, definitely amazing. But the form looked good. The form looked bad. It looked, oh my god. But yeah, he ends up turning into this. Hotaru turns into this form. He's murking some of the guys or whatever. We see Kaguya over there fighting Barrelux, and he hinges up and he transforms into Decade himself. He transforms into Decade. He says, "Decade, your powers are mine to use." He transforms into Decade and ends up fighting out Barrelux, and he ends up using a form of Decade's ultimate attack, where he like summons the cards and he shoots through them and things. He did that and destroys all the robots, basically destroys the whole army. So only person left is Barrelux, and we end up seeing Hotaru use two other cards. He uses Build and Forze. You use 3 of my top 5 favorite writers, and this form, it was Build and Forze. It was terrible. It was more Forze than Build anyway. Like, it looked more Forze than Build. It really wasn't that much Build in it. Like, he had like the symbols of the bottles on him and stuff, but he had Build colors with the gold with the Forze motif, and I didn't like it. Oh god, why you? I did like it. Was worse than Cyclone Tatoba. But it looked bad. But that's when we see a rider kick between the guys. And this is the coolest rider kick. This is one of the coolest rider kicks I ever seen, because Hotaru jumps up and goes to a rider kick stand, a rider kick stance, and then Legend or Kaguya jumps on his shoulder while he's in it. They fly down. Hotaru rider kicks him, and then Kaguya jumps off his shoulder and rider kicks him. And it was dope. That was a dope rider kick. It really freaking was. And yeah, and after that, we see that the system that brought Hotaru there has started to overheat. So now that he's overheated, he's losing his connection to this world. So he ends up saying goodbye to Kaguya, and Kaguya didn't even know his name. He just called him Gotchard. and he didn't even know his name. He told him his name before he faded away, and he ends up fading back into the same place he was already in. Kachiki's sitting there. Kachiki's like, oh my god, where'd Hototo go? And Hototo ends up back there. They talk and stuff, and Hototo's like, have you ever worn a tuxedo before? And he's like, no, I don't have anything that glorious. He's like, oh, I don't have anything that gorgeous. He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, that's that, I guess. I don't know. And then that's when we go back to Legend. He's telling Butler that, hey, make sure the system is back up and running. Like, make sure, fix that and whatever. And he's like, yeah, cool. And then we get a shot of Kaguya saying that we'll meet again, Hototo. And then we get a shot of his giant golden tower thing. And that's the end. Like, no post credits, no nothing. And like I said before, this guy is going to be back. This guy is going to be back, and hopefully he ends up meeting like the real. Most likely he has met Decade, but I would love to see him actually team up with Decade and Gotchard and Geo especially. But yeah, this was a pretty okay special. I thought it was it's only 2 episodes, so I kind of felt like maybe it probably would have been 3, and also maybe like a little post thing with showing where the 100 leader went, because he faded away like he got snapped out of existence. Marvel, like that's how he went out. But yeah, this was cool. I don't really like review specials and stuff like that, but this one was actually pretty cool. I was really interested in seeing who this golden Decade looking writer was, and I was very surprised to see that it wasn't Decade's actor. But yeah, it was dope though, and I did like we actually did get to see the actual Decade. Not the actor who plays Decade, but maybe that was his voice. Maybe they got him to come in there and do it like a few voice lines or whatever. But yeah, this was cool, and I did enjoy it. I did. This episode kind of was a letdown to me because these 2 forms were terrible. I don't care. I've said it a lot. I'm gonna keep saying it. They were terrible. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard versus Kamen Rider Legend. Also, what you think about the whole thing in general. These 2 episodes. Do you think this was a good little small special, little spin-off thing? Also, do you think we're gonna see Legend again, and how soon? Cause might be kind of soon. Maybe he'll actually appear in the the actual series. Well, we're past 10 now, so things are gonna get kind of rocky. But other than that, I'm going to see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And remember, I always say, guys, stay henshin.